Hey, it's Kevin Powell here with the Kevin Powell Podcast. It's day 3, Louder Than Life, kind of day 2. We'll get into that later. I have a band here with me today. These guys are fantastic. They're all about mental health. They have a great repertoire behind them. And I'm talking with guys from Citizen Soldier. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Doing great. So, tell me, we got Jake. Why don't you go introduce yourselves? What do you guys do in the band?
I'm Jake. I sing in the band.
And I'm Matt, and I play guitar.
So pleasure to meet you guys. Thanks for being here today. How does it feel to be part of Louder Than Life this year?
This is great. I mean, as an independent band and just kind of going out and playing shows and putting a name out for ourselves has opened these opportunities. So, I think we're all just stoked to be here. And this is the first year we've been hitting a lot of these festivals. It's been awesome.
We kind of came up as a band hearing that you don't get these festivals, these Danny Wimmer festivals or festivals of this caliber unless you're signed to a label or have a management deal, And it's been really cool since we have no entry point, we have no connection, to just go to these markets in different places and just have to get our own finals, get our own headlining numbers, and just kind of prove that we belong. So it's fun to be here. It's an awesome result of a lot of hard work.
And that's got to be a great sense of accomplishment, knowing that, guys, we did this ourselves. We didn't have we have fans and people backing us, but we don't have any of that fancy dancy stuff that all these other bands do.
Yeah, man. I mean, we just got confirmed for a main stage slot at Sonic Temple next year, and that's obviously huge for an independent band. And we started out, we went to Columbus and played a little venue there, and then went back to the same venue and sold it out. And then we went back as the headliner and did Athenaeum Theater at 1,500. And, we had to go there and grind and just make it happen and kind of force it into existence. And it's an awesome feeling. It's going to be really fun.
Have you guys ever been to Sonic Temple as fans or anything like that?
I have not, no. It's been a bucket list festival, but this can be my first experience.
I remember as a kid seeing these festivals on social media and just being blown away at how many, how stacked the lineups were. But I never made it.
So Sonic Temple, when you guys go in Columbus, a lot of fun. I mean, it's very well set up. Any Danny Wimmer Presents festival is top notch. I've talked to many bands on this before who's been at Danny Wimmer festivals, not just Louder Than Life, but et cetera, et cetera. They always compliment them, and I have nothing but great stuff to say, especially after yesterday. That was wild. But here we are, still going. Day 3, kind of day 2, but you guys are still part of it. You didn't have to, cancel. So that's good news there. Jake, you have kind of a special thing on your end where it's not just, all right, I'm playing music, see ya. You're a clinical therapist. How did you get into that? What aspect of that do you kind of bring into your music?
So I'm a certified social worker, taking my test right when I get home from this tour for my LCSW.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm almost there. Sorry, what was the question again?
So the mental health side of things, how do you bring that into your music?
It kind of brings itself, man. It's cool. People ask what the triangle in our logo means, and I tell them that what it means to me is, the songwriting is driven by my personal experiences, the fan experiences, and the client experiences in therapy. And it's cool to see, in a given record, you'll see songs that are kind of more personal to me. You'll see songs that are more about things that I hear from our fans, and you'll see songs that are really driven by, what I see as a therapist. I feel like I have a really unique lens. There's so many bands that have songs about depression or anxiety. But for example, we play a song live called Strong for Somebody Else, and I had a client that was sitting across from me on the couch, and they told me, if it weren't for my kids, I wouldn't be here today. And I was like, that really impacted me, and I'm like, this is something I've heard a lot in emails and fan mail, and this is something that a lot of people are feeling. And so I become like a journalist at that point. I'm a reporter, I'm absorbing information and I'm kind of spitting it back out. And that song's really about, what it's like to be a parent or a sibling or a child or someone who isn't enjoying life or is in a really dark place and struggling, but they're just on autopilot because they feel like they don't want to hurt the people they love around them. And it's such a rewarding feeling to write something that you feel like is unique and is like in an angle or a lens that hasn't been done before, and then just watch it resonate with people and connect. So my job is to kind of pick up on patterns and write songs about it.
And you guys, you do something via Zoom kind of in between shows?
Yeah, I do telehealth when I'm on the road. I'll just see clients that way. Depending on the situation, I'll be like PRN status, so I'll say, let me know if you need me and we can do an emergency session. Some clients I'll just continue to see weekly. I specialize in victims of sexual violence. I work with mostly women. I work with a lot of complex PTSD. And so, a lot of a lot of that work is not something that can just be put on the shelf for a month, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So it's important to be consistent. So balancing that in this world is not easy. So I'm still learning how to juggle it, but I could never stop being a therapist. I just love it way too much.
Absolutely. I mean, that's such a heartwarming thing to hear. You know, no shades to any of the other bands that just come play music, have fun, you know, do their thing. You have a certain element with you guys in your music, and the fact that you're doing this to help people is just fantastic. So thank you for doing this. If, you know, say someone wants to talk to you and book something with you, how could they go about doing that?
So the tricky thing there is when I got hired, that was my first question to my boss was, can I see people who know my music already? And we had a lot of conversations about that, and we decided that someone who already knows me through my music is probably going to have a pretty biased perspective when it comes to me and my advice. They might be a little bit too eager to do what I tell them. It kind of affects the therapeutic relationship. So I actually have a boundary right now where I'm unable to see anyone that already knows me through my music.
Okay.
Granted, if someone lied or didn't tell me, I wouldn't be able to, and it's happened and it's awkward, and I have a really good gut for it. I can usually tell when someone knows me already through the music. But what I will say is the way most people find me is psychologytoday.com. It's an amazing resource where you can filter by location, by state, by issues you're dealing with, by insurance that they take, and you can get a list of therapists that are available, and it has their information for email, for text, for everything. It's a great resource to find somebody that's licensed in your area.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I guess I just wanted to plug you a little bit in case someone watching, listening is like, you know, that does sound good. Let me see what he's all about. But how about you? Do you have any side hustles you want to that you mentioned?
No side hustles at this moment, but maybe I should.
He should be selling his homemade buffalo chicken dip.
Okay, so he's the chef. All right, I gotcha. Homemade buffalo chicken dip available for purchase here at Louder Than Light. No, I'm kidding.
I'll be doing therapy in one corner. He'll have the chips and dip in the other. I don't know what's more therapeutic than chips and dip. So
he'll pick you back up after you've left it all out on the table.
Yeah, go cry in the corner with Jake, and then come have some comfort food after.
So you guys are currently on tour with The Theory of a Dead Man and...
Not yet.
So that's coming up.
We're on our headlining tour right now with Icon for Hire and Holocene. We're going down through Texas and the West Coast and Pacific Northwest. And then we drive right back across the country to St. Louis, where we started this tour, to jump on the Theory of a Dead Man tour, which is an acoustic tour, which we're really excited about because we've always said, like, our stuff is very ballad heavy, which is odd for a rock band.
Yeah.
But so the acoustic stuff suits us so well. We feel so comfortable there. So when we got that offer, it wasn't convenient, but we were like, we've got to make this work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different dynamic for sure. Something like Louder Than Life, acoustic tour. It'll still be fun, though, so congrats on that. That's a lot of fun.
Thanks, man. We're excited.
What else is coming up for you guys? 2024, maybe going into 2025?
Main stage, Sonic Temple. We're expecting some other festival announcements soon as well that we're excited about. We are recording a new record in January. I mean, we're releasing a record November 13th called Icarus that we've been releasing this year through singles that we're really excited about. We recently had a song called Burden that charted at #1 on the rock charts for iTunes, which was really cool as a first for us. So, I mean, people can expect us to be really consistent. We put out a record every year, and, you know, it's just because I love writing and I always have the itch, and something that we're excited about is this next record that's coming up is really turned into a concept record that from beginning to end is kind of like the story of somebody going through trauma therapy, which we think is, you know, whenever we're working on content, we always ask ourselves, you know, there's so many active rock bands, there's so many up and coming rock bands, what makes us different, you know? And so we want to make sure that the art that we're creating is unique and that we can always answer that question, you know, what makes this album special? Well, let me explain. It's this journey of someone in trauma therapy, you know, and with my background, obviously, I have a unique lens on that can convey that in a unique way.
And then you have people like me who ask you about it, and then you can tell the story, so.
Absolutely, man. That's why you're so valuable.
So that's what's going on 2024, 2025. What advice would you give the bands maybe just starting out? Rock, metal, anything?
I would say try to pick a lane, focus on, you know, what interests you. Try not to compare yourself too much to others, and just create for the joy of doing it, and your people will find it, you know. Stay true to your art.
All of that, 100% agree with all of that. I would also say focus more on developing your craft than chasing opportunities. The opportunities will come if you get great at what you do. And so I would say, it's funny, rock writers are so weird about co-writes. They're like, I have to do it all myself or I'm not a great writer. There's this weird, it's so funny, like rock hates on pop while covering pop songs to try and get clout and grow, right? Like, we're very weird about that. And I think that, like, it's like you're not going to become a great surgeon if you don't learn from surgeons in medical school that have done it really, you know what I mean? So, like, I took a huge leap in my songwriting when I went to songwriting boot camp and just wrote with everyone that would take me. So my advice is get out of your echo chamber as a writer, get used to getting your feelings hurt, go work with people better than you, and just be in that cycle until you're like, you know what, I'm starting to trust myself here. I think I'm getting pretty good at this. So it's always, it's good to humble myself and get in the room with people and be like, oh, that's something I haven't tried or done before. That's a tool that I can pick up and put in my tool belt. But too many people just want to stay in their safe space, in their echo chamber, and be told how awesome their songs are, when really, when you're starting out, your songs probably aren't that awesome, so.
Well, very well said from both of you. Any final things you guys want to say to fans?
Our fans are amazing. We love them to pieces. They're family. Every tour is like a non-blood family reunion. And so they know how we feel about them. We love them. They're everything to us. We're very grateful for where we are. The fact that we can do this for a living puts us in the 0.01% of musicians in the world, So we're very grateful.
I can't add anything to that. Yeah, we are just grateful. And like you said, the fans, I think they know how we feel about them. And it's just been great so far.
Gentlemen, I appreciate a little bit of your time. I'm going to talk to you here in a second, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So that's Citizen Soldier here. They got a new album coming out in November. They're going to be hitting the Reverb stage later today, actually in a little bit here at Louder Than Life. Thanks for checking out this episode of the podcast. We'll see you next time.